What's up, baby? Yo, it's the boy Ray back again, innit? Yeah, listen. Today, guys, innit? Yeah, we're about to get educationalized.
Oh!
Educationalizationized. Educational? Educated, my nigga, educated, yeah. Educated, yeah. We're about to get educated in it, yeah, on some Samoan history, do you get me? On some Polynesian history in it and geography in it, yeah. This is coming from geography now, in it, yeah. Shout out geography now. We're gonna get this one in it, yeah. I want to learn a bit more about, you lot's history, because I swear to God, your culture actually interests the fuck out of me. I'm not gonna lie, bro. So we're gonna get into this one, in it, yeah. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, in it, yeah. Blast the like button, blast the subscribe thing, in it, yeah. If you lot got some interesting videos in it, yeah, about Polynesian people, Samoans, or just the culture in general, in it, yeah, that you like me to react to, in it, yeah, please put it down in the comments below, in it, yeah, and I'll get around to it, you get me. So, boom. Without further ado, let's not waste any more time, in it, yeah. Let me get my thing started. Yeah. Boom, let's go.
If Polynesia was a family, Samoa would be kind of like the kingpin great-grandfather.
Nice.
Technically, every Samoan is considered royalty. But it all comes down to how good of a royal can you be?
Royalty? How you mean royalty? Nigga? What?
I mean, sure, if you got ties to the Ainga Tupu, it helps. But anything is up for grabs in a Fono
who,
Omati.
nigga?
I mean, sure, if you got ties to the Ainga Tupu, it helps.
Angatupuits, yeah, right. Is that like you lot's like old school tribal type people, like? You know what's mad, innit? It's kind of the same, innit? Obviously, I'm Nigerian, innit? Yeah. The denomination of Nigerian I am is called Tiv people, innit? Yeah. And I swear to God, innit? Yeah, I've got pictures of like my mum and my family back in the day, and not my mum, my family, fucking my great grand and all of that, yeah, looking just like that, fam. Do you get me? Wearing the same type of attire, fam. Do you get me? So, man's fucking with it, bro. Let's go on.
Helps, but anything is up for grabs in a Fono Omatai if your Falupenga is on point, and once you got the Tama Ainga title, you
Nigga,
can secure
what?
a spot as the Ola Au Ola Malo.
What? No, stop that.
It's time to learn geography now!
This is gonna be a fun episode. I love.
That's a dickhead intro. The thing said, no! Okay, let's go.
It's time to learn geography now!
This is gonna be a fun episode. I love the Pacific Island nations because they are some of the least studied places on Earth with some of the most vibrant stories and traditions. Also, yes, we did have a social media campaign to try and get
Jeez,
Dwayne "The Rock"
man.
Johnson in this episode.
Rocky.
Art and I actually kind of went up to his management office in Beverly Hills to see if we could reach out to him.
Yeah, so we showed up at his management office, and it was kind of awkward. They kind of looked at us like we're like from outer space or something like that.
Yeah, we got rejected.
We got rejected so bad. It's like,
And then the whole coronavirus thing happened, so we probably wouldn't have been able to film with him anyway. So
right.
we overshot the runway too much on this.
We're worthless.
Anyway, in compliance with social distancing practices, obviously Caleb and Jillian live in my house, so they're cool with being in these episodes. Art is one of my closest neighbors. We live within walking distance, so Art's going to be in these episodes too.
And his mom makes really good chicken soup, so it's literally the only reason why I come over here.
And we will have occasional guest stars, but only one at a time, Keith, Noah, and Hannah. That's how this is going to work out.
All right, anyway, let's jump into the episode.
Yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm getting very impatient now. I'm very impatient.
You can't have Polynesia without starting and branching out from Samoa.
Jeez, okay, so that's the Samoan flag, yeah? Looks like the stars are in flipping question mark kind of thing in here. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, five of them. Oh, what's the blue? I know usually in it, yeah, the colours and the flag represent something in it. Yeah. What's the red and the blue represent? Like, if y'all know in it, yeah, get at me in the comments, my G's.
All the Polynesian cousins sailed their ships out from Samoa at one point, and let's see where that point is on the map. The country is located in Oceania in the Pacific Ocean, specifically in the largest subregion known as Polynesia, shaped like a triangle starting in New Zealand, going up to Hawaii, and ending in Easter Island.
Oh shit, nigga. So that's the whole of Polynesia, yeah? That's a massive fucking spectrum, boy. New Zealand, Hawaii, Easter Island. Oh shit, Easter Island. Yo, is that a Polynesian thing? Easter Island, is that what Stonehenge and that? Is that a Polynesian thing? That might be interesting.
Polynesia has over 1,000 islands and archipelagos straddling millions of square kilometers of ocean territory. Samoa, though, is located about halfway between New Zealand and Hawaii, sandwiched between their cousins Tuvalu and Tonga. Now, keep in mind, the independent nation of Samoa is different from the U.S. overseas territory of American Samoa, which sits at the shortest distance less than 100 miles or 160 kilometers away. Keep in mind, though, the most absolutely mind-boggling thing between these islands is that they are literally divided by the international date line, which means they share the same time of day, but are exactly 24 hours apart, with American Samoa perpetually living in Yesterdayland and Samoa in Tomorrowland.
The international dateline, so they share the same day and night, but how does that make sense? How are they? Doesn't fucking make sense, bro.
Apart, with American Samoa perpetually living in Yesterdayland and Samoa in Tomorrowland.
How? That doesn't even make any sense. How do you go from sharing the same day and night? Is someone just being cheeky? Like, why not just fucking just say, yeah, instead of saying one's on Tuesday and one's on Wednesday, say, nigga, fuck it, might as well take Wednesday and make it Tuesday, and then we'll just be on the same fucking time because you're sharing the same day and night, bro. That don't make sense.
And technically, you can go to the future or past within a quick 35-minute flight between them.
This is kind of why people typically buy 2 one-way tickets instead of a round-trip package when traveling between the 2 islands. It's like,
Wow, American Samoa was pretty cool, but I think I'll just take one of those 35-minute flights over to the country of Samoa. When will I arrive?
In just over 24 hours.
Wait, what? How is that even possible? Well, when will I return?
Yesterday.
yeah, it can be a nightmare if you've never done it before. In any case,
The country is made up of 2 main islands that make up about 99% of the landmass, Upolu, where about 75% of the population
Upolu.
lives, and Savaii, which has the remaining
Savaii.
25%. In addition, there are other smaller islands and rocks, such as Manono and Apolima in the Apolima Strait, the 4 Alepata Islands in the east off the
Hey, these names sound cold, fam. Alipata Islands.
coast of Opolu, Nu'utele, Nu'uala,
Jeez.
Vanuatu,
Nu'uala.
and Namua, and finally small
Namua.
little in the south just by the town of Putasi. Out of these islands, the country is divided into 11 itumalo, or political districts, which are actually tied
Itumalo. Gagamu. What the fuck? Gagemuaga. Mauga. Gagemauga. Fasalelega. Paloli. Satupa Ite. Visigano. Gagai from Moga. Jesus Christ, bro. These shit is fucking hard as fuck to pronounce, bro.
into historical Samoan communities that predate European contact. And the capital of the country, Apia, is located on the north side of Opolu Island. The country has one main international airport, Faleolo International. Otherwise, the country has 3 other regional airports on Savaii, whereas Upolu has this extra one, but it was closed in 2019, but it might reopen. The locals are always arguing about it. From there, each island has a ring road that goes around the coasts, and ferry services operate between the islands daily, as well as ferries and flights between them and the U.S. territory of American Samoa. Keep in mind, all together, Samoa and American Samoa are collectively just called the Samoan Islands.
But why is it called American Samoa? So you lot, basically Samoa is made up of 2 islands, yeah, that you lot can go back and forth. But then you go over to American Samoa and that's like 24 hours in the future. Which doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's still the Samoan Islands, yeah.
However, sometimes to make the distinction, you might hear the titles Western Samoa for Samoa and American Samoa or East Samoa for the U.S. territory of American Samoa.
Yeah, in 2011, they actually moved the country's date ahead 1 day and skipped December 30th. This was actually done to kind of boost their trade relations with New Zealand and Australia. It was like,
Hey New Zealand, it's Friday. Let's do some export deals.
Oh, sorry, man. Even though you're like 1 longitude length away, it's Saturday here and our offices are closed on weekends, man.
oh,
All right, look, man, this is ridiculous. This whole you being in yesterday thing is kind of stupid. Just switch it up and join our side.
You're right. Hey, American Samoa.
Nah, I'm good.
Fun fact.
I said, nah, fuck that, I'm good, nigga. So basically, they went back 24 hours just so that they can be more, have more trading time with New Zealand, yeah? Fair enough.
each Itumalo actually kind of has their own constitution called a Fa'avae, based on the
Fa'avae.
order of each district's falupenga. What is a falupenga? Basically, it's like a special greeting that each of the district chiefs have to memorize when they go and visit another district chief.
So it's like a passcode or something.
No, it's a formal greeting acknowledging the history and lineage of the village and introducing yourself based off of your lineage and history. And it's all spoken in proper Samoan.
So,
And introducing yourself. No, it's a formal greeting acknowledging the history and lineage of the village and introducing.
So when you go to another village, you have to do the thing in it, yeah, that recognizes their history and their sort of culture. to introduce yourself. I fucks with that. Obviously, you go to someone else's house, innit? Yeah, you respect their thing, and then you enter. You get me?
Yourself based off of your lineage and history, and it's all spoken in proper Samoan.
So it's like a Shakespearean greeting.
Kind of. You have to be very
These lot of dickheads, right? These lot of fucking dickheads.
eloquent if you're going to be one of the orator chiefs. For example, like this. Anyway, if you decide to visit, some top notable spots that you guys, the Samoan geography suggested I mention in this episode include
The market, or Maketifu, the Samoan Cultural Village, the Robert Louis Stevenson Museum, the EFKS Museum of Fine Arts, the Falea Lupo Ruins, Moso's Footprint, the Salea Ula Lava Field Ruins, the largest fale at the University of Samoa, the ancient star mound of Manono Island, the House of Rock, the Vanya Taule Alo Gallery, the Government House. There are many churches and places of worship like these, and there are so many natural spots and so many waterfalls. The most famous waterfall probably being Papapapaitai Falls.
Oi, that looks sensational. Oh, I love nature, bro. I love how green that fucking looks, man. That looks fucking sensational, bro. That's just Earth doing its thing, like, and then the fucking thingy just kind of looks like a. Oh! Let me not say in it. I've got a dirty mind in it, yeah. So fill in the blanks in it. Yeah.
So many caves as well, like the Dwarfs Caves and the Piula Cave Pools. The most famous notable spot and landmark, though, would probably be the Pulemele Pyramid Mound.
Also, keep in mind they do have a lot of amazing beaches, but almost none of them are public because they are owned by families or villages, so you'll have to pay a little fee to get on the beach. But anyway, speaking of beaches and natural landscape...
Nani?
So this may be a little crazy, but this one online business
Can you
that I
shut
have
up your
going has generated
mouth?
me
Can you shut up your
$19,000
stupid
to
mouth, idiot? You don't even know me. Bastard face.
Now let's be for real. When you're in the middle of the ocean alone and isolated, every little bit of land matters. And with Samoa, they got kind of the jackpot.
First of all, Samoa lies on the Pacific Plate, right at the top of the Tonga Trench, part of a larger, highly volcanic area known as the Ring of Fire that circumvents the fringes of the entire Pacific.
I fell into a burning ring of fire, and it burned, burned, burned. The ring of fire. The ring of
Ocean. The volcanic activity is essentially what formed the islands, as it lies on the Samoa hotspot, one of many noted magma plume upwellings that can be found scattered throughout the oceans of the world. Only one volcano is classified as active, Mount Matavanu on Savai'i Island, which last erupted for 6 years continuously between 1905 and 1911. It formed about 40 square miles or 100 square kilometers of new land in the form of a lava field on the north side. The tallest peak of the country, continuously between 1905 and 1911. It formed about 40 square miles or 100 square kilometers of new land in the form of a lava field on the north side. The tallest peak of the country...
That's crazy, bro. So obviously the volcano erupts, yeah, and then forms new land because obviously the molten lava comes and settles. That's crazy. Yo, when you actually deep in it, yeah, the world is a fucking mad place. How tectonic plates move and everything shifts and volcanoes erupt and change the landscape, bro. The Earth is actually a mad place. The Earth is a crazy, amazing, sensational place.
Country though is Mount Silisili, which means highest, which is also located on Savai'i and is a dormant stratovolcano.
Don't be silly.
Mount Silisili, which means highest, which is also located on Savai'i and is a dormant stratovolcano. From here, the two longest rivers, the Vaimali and Maliolio rivers, flow downward from the central Savai'i mountain spine. The largest inland body of fresh water, however, is actually Lake Manoto'o, a small crater lake found on the top of a hill on Upolu Island, just south of the capital.
I'm not gonna lie in it, yeah. Like I'm eating up a lot of this info in it, yeah, but just the names it's so hard to remember all of them in it, yeah, so it's a bit jarring in it, but I'll do my best to keep up in it.
As an equatorial nation, they fall within the monsoon climate zone, where temperatures are consistently warm almost year-round, and the rainy season lasts between November and April.
Whole 6 months, bro.
Occasionally, they might find themselves in the path of tropical storms or cyclones as well.
Another cool thing is that Samoa was kind of volcanically formed, a little different from all the other Polynesian islands. The distinct lava flow on the sides of Savai'i Island were carved by strong waves, creating a complex underground cave system that eventually tunneled upwards to the surface, which is where you get the famous alofaga or taga blowholes. These water jets are created by pressure that flows into the tunnels from the ocean. Sometimes people like putting coconuts on these water jets and then blasting them upwards Now, as a tropical Polynesian nation, of course, yes, Samoa is very lush and green. About a fifth of the land is arable, and about 2/3 of the country are either employed or involved in agriculture. Agricultural products and fishing in themselves make up about 90% of exports, whereas the service sector employs about half of the workforce, mostly in tourism and hospitality, which make up about a quarter of their GDP. Nearly 250,000 people travel to Samoa and visit every single year, and the number has actually been growing quite a bit in the past few years as Polynesian travel publicity has skyrocketed, you know, with the help of notable Polynesian-based movies and films and stars highlighting their heritage. I mean, Hobbs and Shaw, dang, Mr. Rock, I will never forget that Uso battle scene or the helicopter car
I need to
chain
see that.
thing.
Oh, I actually haven't seen this film, you know. I did see the preview and that, and I see he had like his brethren, all these Usos and that fucking Roman Reigns and all of that in this, but I've never actually seen this film. I'm gonna have to check it.
That's Samoa! In addition, Samoa is known for having a wide array of unique animal species. And with that, it's time for our animal correspondent, Gary Harlow, to step in. Jillian.
Hey guys.
Oh.
Gary Harlow's not here right now. He's actually deworming a blue elephant, but
We need someone to do this, though.
like many other islands
What
of the Pacific,
What about to say? Don't fucking look at me. I ain't gonna do it.
Samoa doesn't have any endemic mammal species, the only true ones being bats and Polynesian rodents. Pigs, dogs, and cats are all over,
That was
but
a
we're
fucking
true
pig.
ones being bats and Polynesian rodents. Pigs,
Oh fuck, that is butters, bro. That's butters.
dogs, and cats are all over, but were introduced to the islands later by people. Otherwise, the country is loaded with reptiles like the native Samoan skink, the Polynesian gecko, and
The what?
the country is loaded with reptiles like the native Samoan skink.
Oh, skink. I thought it said skank. Obviously, you man don't know, but here, and if you call someone a skank, she means they're dirty, fam. Do you get me? They're dirty. It means she's a slag. She's a skank. She's a slag.
The Polynesian gecko, and the Pacific boa. Heaps
Whoa.
of marine species like parrotfish, surgeonfish, yellowfin tuna, and whales.
Oh, Dora!
Heaps of marine species like parrotfish, surgeonfish,
Dora from fucking Nemo. Are you crazy?
yellowfin tuna, and whales. And birds are everywhere. Over 80% are endemic and found nowhere else on Earth, like the Samoan flycatcher, the mau, fantail, and the national animal, the manumea, or tooth-billed pigeon. And that's it for me.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brad Callen, and in this video, I'm going to show you how anyone can quickly and easily create doodle videos.
Shut your man. Sorry, fucking, I can't stand adverts. Like, stop trying to invade my brain, dickhead.
Yay! And now we finish off this segment as we always do. Food! Here are some of the top notable dishes of
Ooh,
Samoa that
yes.
you guys, the Samoan geography, suggested I mention. Fa'ai eleni, palusami, fa'alifu fa'i, ota ia, sua ia, fa'ausi, kopai, panipopo, panikeke, keke pota ia, sua ia, fa'ausi, kopai, panipopo, panikeke.
That's chin chin, boy. That's puff puff. That's crazy sweet banana fruit. That looks like puff puff. We eat it in Nigeria as well, and it's called puff puff. Yeah, I want some now. I'm not gonna lie.
Keke pua'a, keke saina, suafa'i, and very often at celebrations or occasions.
Shit, would you lot have, like, obviously you lot, comment in it, let me know, like, the main dishes that you lot eat at home, in it, like, the traditional stuff, like, you have, kind of, like, on a daily basis, in it, like, your kind of usual meal that you'd have, in it.
Or even just on Sundays, you'll see the umus happening all the time. Yeah. Samoan or occasions, or even just on Sundays, you'll see the umu.
Earth oven cooked meal. Sick.
Happening all the time. Yeah, Samoans are incredibly
I love the dressing, man. Yo, the attire is so sick, man. It's proper tribal, man. I fucking love that shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
communal people. They take filial piety and ancestor veneration to a whole new level. And with that, that brings us to... Now when it comes to Samoa, you kind of have to know Fa'a Samoa, or the Samoa.
Fa'a Samoa, the Samoan way. Fa'a Samoa. Fa'a Samoa. I'm gonna remember that one.
Samoan way. Every true Samoan knows.
Jeez, that's that. Yeah, hey, these tats look cold, bro. And you niggas are just fucking huge, bro. You're just fucking huge, bro. Mad.
about this, and in some way, shape, or form, to some degree, it affects their life. Everything you are and have, from land to water to birthright, are rooted back to the start. It's hard to understand, we'll explain in a bit. But first,
Samoa has about 200,000 people and is the country with the highest population of native Polynesians in the world, and there are actually even more Samoans living abroad than there are in Samoa, at about 600,000 globally. The country is made up primarily of native Samoan people, a Polynesian group at about 92% of the population. About 7% are Euronesians, whom are people that are mixed with European and Islander ancestry, in this case mostly half Samoan people, and the remainder of the population is mostly white and East Asian, coming from countries like South Korea and China.
they use the tala as their currency, they use the type I,
Coming from countries like South Korea and China.
they use the ta.
Tala. That's some colourful ass money, boy. That looks sick though, I'm not gonna lie. Nice.
Tala as their currency, they use the type I plug outlet, and they drive on the left side of the road. The main official language of the country, of course, is Samoan. It is the most prominently spoken Polynesian language.
It's the same alphabet, innit? I guess it's no B though, innit? Y'all niggas ain't got no B's, nigga. Y'all niggas ain't got no B's. AEIOUFGLM. Shit, man. Alright, say less.
Language in the world, and after that, English is co-official. Again, they have a history with the British and New Zealanders, blah blah blah. Believe it or not, if World War I did not happen, Samoa actually might have been speaking German today. In any case, back to the confusing lineage thing. There's a saying in Samoan, ole ala ile pule, ole tautua, which means the path to leadership is through service. Samoa has a
I've got a feeling, I don't know, this guy sound like he butchered it, man. That didn't sound sexy at all, fam. He looks Samoan, but it doesn't sound like he's repping the thing now. I'm going.
pule, ole tautua.
Ule ala ile pule. Ule tautua.
Which
Let me say it
means
again.
there's a saying in Samoan, ole ala
Ule ala ile pula. Ule tautua.
ile pule, ole tautua, which means the path to leadership is through service. Samoa has a very unique
Respect
system that fuses both modern and traditional ruling systems. Today, their government is classified
The path to leadership. Is it path to leadership, was it?
ile pule, ole tautua, which means the path to
The path to leadership is through service. The path to leadership is through service. Yeah, I fucks with that. I fucks with that. A true leader must be able to serve. Do you get me? Fucks with that.
leadership is through service. Samoa has a very unique system that fuses both modern and traditional ruling systems. Today, their government is classified as a parliamentary republic. However, it takes strongly into account the traditional fa'amatai system. What is the fa'amatai system? Well, it's actually pretty simple. See,
It all starts out with the 4 original paramount chieftain dynasty families that created the nation, known as the Tama'ainga. There's also a 5th one for American Samoa, but technically that one doesn't count. Keep in mind, the head of state or ceremonial president, or the Ole'au Olemalo, always has one or more of these titles in his name. From these 4 dynasties, the 16 royal families, or the Aingatupu, were created. They were the ones that originally ruled the Itumalo. From there, the towns and villages have a matai, which means chief. They meet in a fono o matai.
Oh, like Steve. Our boy Steve Matai is a chief. Okay, no wonder why he's rocking niggas with his shoulder, fam. He's a chief, bro.
Or council of other chiefs. You can be
Matai.
a regular matai or a matai sili, which means high-level chief. The chiefs come in 2 forms, the ali'i or head chief, and the tulafale or orator chief, who does all the talking, debating, and announcing. Once you are a matai, you are generally expected to hold the title until you die. On rare occasions will they cede the title. Keep in mind, after this
So hold on, what is fucking Steve Matai? Is he actually a chief, like, or is that like a nickname, or is he like actually genuinely like a chief, bro?
sides, there might also be a pule nu'u, a lower level assistant who helps facilitate the matai duties. From there, you have a taupo, a chief's daughter or female relative, usually from the ali'i. She holds an important role in preparing the ava ceremony for the matai events. Sometimes a male or manaya can hold this role too, but often it is female. If a matai dies or is somehow unable to hold the title and it becomes available, everyone in the immediate family is a suli or candidate heir to the matai title, and a series of speeches or concessions begin to find who will become the next matai. Both men and women can fill the role, however statistically about 90% of matai have been men and about 10% have been female. From there you have the unranked plain village people, or the tangatanu, or the taule alea, usually made up of younger people or people uninterested in holding traditional titles.
See? Simple. Also keep in mind, the ava ceremony is incredibly important to Samoan culture. It's used for all occasions, but especially for the matai title bestowing ceremonies, like when a new matai becomes a matai. The bitter drink is prepared by people called the aumaga using a tanoa bowl and wringing out the roots of the mildly psychoactive kava plant. If you see this thing,
Psychoactive? What? Niggas start tripping, yo? Hey, yo, I'm trying to be a chief, baby. Let's get it popping, baby.
hole and wringing out the roots of the mildly psychoactive kava plant. If you see this,
mildly.
then y'all know that some serious is going on. Taking all of that into account, you can probably see by now that Samoa is very steadfast in maintaining tradition and culture. Faith-wise, Samoa is pretty religious. About 98% of the population is Christian, the largest groups being Protestant-based. And often you might even find yourself in the middle of a prayer session. If you do, just be respectful, tone it down a little bit, or you can even participate if you want. Traditionally, though, their ancestors followed a form of Polynesian mythology that had numerous deities and spirits called Atua and Aitu. Interestingly enough, statistically, Polynesia is one of the few areas on Earth which has a birth rate of males that is higher than that of females. Today, the ratio sits at around 1.07 to 1 in Samoa.
Bruh, these, I'm telling you, these are the fucking Super Saiyans, yeah, of the modern world, innit, yeah? 7 to 1, bro. They're just a warrior race, fam. A warrior race is just birthing bare flipping henchop donnies, innit, yeah? Who just trying to fucking battle and destroy shit, fam. They're just too beastly, bro. Too beastly, bro.
Anyway, the traditional house is called a fale, a round, thick, thatched roof gazebo type of structure with no walls, but blinds or nets can be draped down on the sides in between.
Man, this reminds me of home. I swear to God, like literally, innit, yeah. Hey, my grandma, innit, yeah, she used to live in a village. Oh, she before she passed, innit, yeah. It was a village that man was raised in, man was born in before. Obviously, I came here when I was like 5 years old, innit. And look at this shit, just reminds me so much of home, man. I swear to God.
Between the columns holding up the roof. I mean, the weather is almost warm consistently throughout the
It's so much greener, man. Fucking hell, I definitely need to go to Samoa. Look at those skies.
year, so Samoans didn't really have to worry about insulation. Fine mats called toga are probably the most prized artifact of the country. They're used in all occasions. They're given away as gifts at weddings and ceremonies and so on. They're used for everything, even when you want to seek forgiveness from someone that you've wronged. It's actually even a tradition for them to cover themselves in a toga outside of the person's house with their extended family members as a sign of atonement. Often you will see
I met a Fijian girl who said something quite similar to that. It's like if you dishonor your family or something, then yeah, like your whole family has to go to. I mean, if you dishonor someone, your whole family has to go and sort of speak to them in your honor. And she mentioned something about wearing something, and so that might be it. That might be kind of similar, innit? But I don't know how closely related like Fijians and Samoans are. You get me? Even though a couple man have said I look Fijian, bro. I don't even know how, bro.
people wearing lava cloth. It's
Lava.
the national cloth of the country, worn both by men and women. Usually men will just drape it around their waists. Women will make it into a body wrap dress.
As a man, if you got it draped around your waist, does that mean you still have to wear boxers or pants, bro? You get me? Can you go commando in that bitch? Like, just have the breeze just blowing out there, man. Just like...
During celebrations, ceremonies, whatever, you might often find men doing the taupati slap dance and the slower, more poised siva dance by women. Speaking of which, taupati slap dance and the slower, more
Yo, she looks pretty as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
poised siva dance.
She is pretty. Jesus Christ. She's actually gorgeous. Nice.
By women. Speaking of which, they have a ton of cool festivals.
Man, truth be told, didn't it? Truth be told, man only really knows the Samoan guys. I've not really looked into any Samoan females just yet. Yo, I'm definitely having a perv after. I mean, a investigation for educational purposes into the character and disposition of Samoan women.
Like the Fire Knife Festival, the Fautasi Outrigger Canoe Competition, the Tafasila Fa'i Festival, and the biggest one, the Fautasi Outrigger Canoe Competition, the
What's on, baby? Yo, you look like you got good hair as well, like. Nice.
Tafasila Fa'i Festival, and the biggest one, Teuila, held around September with the biggest activities, performances, and cuisine displays. And then you get to the traditional tattoos, made out of shark's teeth and soot. And I'm getting kind of tired of all this. Actually, you know what, Art? Just host this
Glad
segment.
to see I'm your second.
You're the last.
choice.
You're the last resort. So
The
yeah.
last resort. Now, across Polynesia, you'll see tattoos everywhere as they are a universal rite of passage. But each island and country has their own unique way of doing it. Unlike their cousins, the Maori, Samoan tattoos don't have spirals or curves. They're typically straight, geometric, and extend from the ribcage ribcage to the knees. Men's tattoos are called pea, and women's are called nalu. And for women, the tattoos only extend from the thighs to the knees. It's a well-known fact that Samoans are famous for their athletic prowess. Historically, the Polynesian men were trained to be big and strong for warfare and competition. I mean, they even had some
bro.
really
Fucking Super Saiyan, bro. Warrior race, bro. Warrior flipping race. Raw. What the hell? Are these the toolies you lot on here? Look at that gank, bro. That's some hook kind of fucking shank, like. That's mad. And then what's this middle one, like? What, with teeth and that on it? You just, imagine you take that on, sweep someone's back. Ah, mad. These are mad weapons.
trained to be big and strong for warfare and competition. I mean, they even had some really cool weaponry. They had an impressive assortment of clubs, axes, daggers, maces, and spears. Did I just say daggers?
I was about to say, yeah, niggas said daggers. I was about to say
daggers. Anthropologists speculate that in addition to the possible genetic predisposition to gain more muscle, the abundance of available sustenance in addition
Bro, so I've not been chatting shit. You man are legit the fucking warrior race, innit, yeah? Man said you're disposed to get more muscles and shit.
Possible genetic predisposition to gain more muscle. The abundance of available sustenance year round.
It's just cheating. It's cheating. Look at me. I'm trying. I'm trying, yo. Niggas are just born like this, fam. You come out the womb just looking like me, fam, for no reason, fam.
On the island or seas around them allowed them to eat more and gain more mass. On the downside, Samoa and other Pacific islands have some of the highest rates of obesity as well as other health-related problems. In any case, Samoan and Pacific Islander men are top contenders for recruiting seasons in rugby and American football leagues. In the NFL, a Samoan male is often somewhere around 40 to 60 times more likely to be recruited against a non-Samoan counterparts, especially for a lineman or linebacker position, because they are freaking huge, and the NFL wants huge people.
You played football too, Art, didn't you?
I did play football, yes I did. I might be considered big, but those guys are like really big.
Trust.
Speaking of big, Keith, he's been eating a sandwich.
Jealous? You jealous of this?
I've never spanked a belly like that.
What's wrong with these guys, bro?
Can I show you some really
Billie Jean,
math?
bro, I bought your course already. I bought this guy's course, innit, yeah, and I didn't complete it because I'm a pagan, innit, yeah. But
40,000.
like 100 pounds, fam. I just couldn't be bothered, bro. I could be bothered, innit, yeah, but I could be bothered, but it just got very long, innit, yeah. It's very, very inclusive.
Oh, by the way, it's my buddy's band, Protein Collective. They're sick. Go check them out. Due to fair use laws, don't sue us or placement or whatever. Just don't sue. As a Polynesian country, Samoa is heavily rooted in traditional sounds. As a country with no formal writing system,
This guy is such a dude, man. Like, I'm half expecting him to say Calabunga, dude.
depend heavily on oral tradition by documenting incidents through song and dance. Samoans love singing. Check out the Samoan High Note Challenge. Those videos are hilarious. Much of the music can be performed with traditional instruments like these. And maybe some of these. Otherwise, today, modern genres like Samoan style R&B, poly reggae, and like jazz have made way.
Jeez, all some poly drill, nigga. You know the thing set, my guys. Hey.
Is a popularity amongst the younger generation. Well, since I don't have a bass today, I guess I can uke my way on out of here.
Thank you, Keith. And now it's time for the very condensed history segment of this episode. In the quickest way I can put it,
Austronesians sail in and settle Samoa. The foreign Tama Aiga chieftain dynasty.
I can put it.
Austronesians sailing and settling Samoa. Austronesians, yeah. Is that Polynesian? Australians from Polynesia.
Sail in and settle Samoa. The foreign Tama Aiga chieftain dynasties begin. The legendary warrior queen.
Jeez. Nafanua starts the Matai system. Okay. Legendary warrior queen. I fucking love that. That's a dope picture as well. Nafanua, that's dope.
Nanafuna starts the Matai system. Aiga chieftain dynasties begin. The legendary warrior queen Nanafuna starts the Matai.
Nanafuna? I always think it says Nafanua.
system. The Aingatupu royal family is established. More of Polynesia is settled. Samoa is taken over and breaks free from the Tui Tonga Empire. First European contact from British and Dutch in the 1700s. Missionaries bringing Christianity. Americans, British, and Germans all claim parts of Samoa. First Samoan Civil War fought between rival Samoan factions. Second Samoan Civil War. Germany takes over for 14 years. East Islands become a U.S. territory. Mao movement for independence. World War I. The UK creeps in, kicks out the Germans. Samoa becomes a territory of New Zealand. Spanish flu kills off a fifth of the population.
Fifth? Shit then. Come like COVID, like.
1962 independence. New
Nice.
Zealand's Helen Clark issues a formal apology for the incidents of the 20th century. Samoa's last king dies at age 95.
Jeez, last king, yeah. Malietoa. Tanemafili. Jeez! Tanemafili, boy, the second. Malietoa. Tanemafili. Jeez! Yeah, that's a dope name.
Samoa switches time zones. Hobbes and Shaw save the world from evil.
And here we are today. Some of the top notable people from Samoa that you guys suggested I mention in this episode include historical figures like Malietoa Laupepa, Malietoa Tanu Mafili the First, Luaki Namulau Ulu Mamoe, Malietoa Tanu Mafili the Second, as well as Cardinal Pio Taufinu'u. Tons of professional athletes like these, lots of boxers like these, weightlifters, rugby players, American football players,
where's my nigga Steve?
weightlifters, rugby players, American football players,
Palamalu, I know Palamalu.
wrestlers,
Jeez, Umaga, yes. Nakupati, the Usos.
people in the business.
Ricky, oh yeah, Rikishi! Yeah, Rikishi was Samoan, bro, you dumb. Yes.
Arts and entertainment area like KJ Apa, Robbie Magasiva, Jay Lagaaya, Beula Koale, Sima Urale, Nick Afoa, Paris Gobel, Albert Wendt, Aggie Gray, of course Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and of course there are so
What
many.
dickhead? Why do you do The Rock like that? Man said, of course, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Put some respect on my nigga's name, B.
Aggie Gray, of course Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you jabroni. Bitch.
And of course, there are so many famous musicians and artists and bands like these. I'm just gonna put a bunch of them up on the screen. And finally, just some miscellaneous ones. Latafale Auva'a, Amy Maslin Miller, Chief Sielu Avea, and the Circus of Samoa. Yeah, for such a small island nation, Samoans have really stuck themselves out as Samoan special. Anyway, off to the last segment.
He's a prick. He's a fucking prick.
The Friend Zone.
I know everything about you. I know your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, who your parents are, and even if...
Shut up.
Now, ocean island nations have always kind of been an interesting place when it comes to diplomacy because everything is so spread apart that you kind of need anyone within the vast open void to lean on. That being said, Samoa does have quite a few contacts in their Rolodex.
Although Fiji is classified as Melanesian, their close proximity to Samoa helps them act as like a bridge between Melanesia and Polynesia. Business, travel, and trade are not only huge between them, both countries kind of piggyback off of each other as well. Fijians even have their own version of the Ava ceremony, and they even created their own haka chant at sporting events like the Maori of New Zealand. Tonga is kind of like the best rival cousin. I mean, a long time ago they did kind of take over Samoa in the Tui Tonga Empire, and there were numerous battles and wars between them, but that was like so long ago and everybody's forgotten about it. The two are close now. The countries and islands that culturally identify closest to Samoa, though, would probably be their immediate siblings Tuvalu and the three association states of New Zealand, Tokelau, Cook Islands, and Niue. Specifically, Tuvalu and Tokelau have the closest languages to Samoan. Some even say it's just a dialect. They all have very similar customs and cultures as well as family lineages, as their ancestors fled to nearby islands, intermarried, and kept in touch pretty well. New Zealand is their biggest business partner and specifically plays a huge role in Samoa's affairs. And in 1962, they signed the Treaty of Friendship after independence. New Zealand has the largest Samoan population outside of Samoa. They are the largest hub of travel to Samoa. They are in charge of their military protection, and Samoa can request channels of communication to international organizations through New Zealand. When it comes to the ones closest to them, though, Samoans will probably probably say the American territory of Samoa. Essentially, they are the same people. Sure, one speaks with a Kiwi accent, the other speaks with an American. One drives on the right side, the other on the left. One plays rugby, the other one plays American football. But otherwise, same people. American Samoa actually had the chance to join them back in 1966 when the UN threw out the option, but surprisingly, they voted to stay as a territory of the US and take on US benefits. Nonetheless, both of them follow the same Fa'a Samoa system of life. They both have the Matai and Fale culture, and overall, they get each other the best.
In conclusion, you cannot have Polynesia without Samoa. Everything between New Zealand, Hawaii, and Easter Island starts here. They are masters of the ocean, and if you are lucky to meet a Samoan, technically, you could address them by saying, Your Majesty. Stay tuned, San Marino is coming up next.
Okay. Jeez, okay, large up these guys, innit? Yeah, that was fucking interesting, bro. I told you, man. You lot are cool as fuck, man. I really love the culture, innit? Yeah, really, I don't know. It really reminds me of my own as well. Do you get me? Like the whole tribal aspect of it as well. Do you get me? But yeah, man, that was really insightful and interesting. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of names in there that kind of just shung, or I just won't remember because it's just so hard to pronounce and whatnot. Do you get me? But overall, very, very interesting, innit? Yeah. Let me know if you lot enjoy this kind of content, innit? Yeah, I had fun in it. I'm not gonna lie, fam. I'm a learner, innit? I like learning new stuff, so this was very interesting for me, innit? Yeah. I probably, if you guys want to see it, I'll definitely be down to watch some more just information about Samoans and Polynesians and whatnot, innit? Yeah. So if you have videos you'd like me to watch, please recommend them in the comments below, innit? Yeah. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Appreciate you watching, innit? Yeah. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Bust the like button. Bust the subscribe thing, innit? Yeah. Join the gang, join the family, innit? Yeah. Man, I'll see you guys on another video. Yeah. Bless.